Hi tipsters, here are my tips for round 3, brought to you by round 8, by the fans, for the fans. And straight up Friday night footy. We've got the Roosters taking on the Broncos up there in Brisbane. This is going to be, I think, the match of the round. Broncos are playing with a lot of confidence. Sammy Thaiday, I thought, had a superb game last week. They're 2 from 2, which has surprised a lot of people already this year. The Roosters, obviously coming off a massive win against the Eels last week. And I think they're still a bit up and down. I think they're still finding their feet for this year, being the minor premiers from last year. A bit of jitters, but I'm going to go for an upset. Well, what I think is going to be an upset, the Broncos to beat the Roosters up there. The other Friday night game is at ANZ Stadium, and that is the West Tigers taking on the Rabbits. Another side I thought that were going to be really struggling this year. The West Tigers are playing with a heap of confidence. Young Tedesco, Brooks, Aaron Woods, Robbie Farah played a superb game last year, and I think if they can do it again, this weekend we might see another upset, but I'm going to have to go with the Rabbits on this one. They've had some tough games. They're 1-1, and I think they're just going to be too good for the West Tigers this Friday night. Saturday's games: the Bulldogs taking on the Panthers. This is going to be good. I think Panthers are playing some great footy. Unlucky last week to go down to the Melbourne Storm down there by a golden point, or by a point, I should say. I think the Bulldogs have broken their shackles. I've been waiting for this for a long time. They did play an understrength Shark side on Monday night, but I think they've just the confidence they got out of that game. I think it's going to be enough to win the game there on Saturday night. The other Saturday night game, the local derby, the Sharks v the Dragons. This is the one that a lot of those fans love to see. It's over there at Cronulla. This will be a good one. I'm tipping the Dragons. Widdop's been playing some great footy. He's leading the Dally M points. Sharks under strength again. No Gallen. Carney, I think, is still out. No Fafita. So they're no Luke Lewis. They are missing a lot of their big name players, and they just won't be good enough to beat the Dragons on the weekend. The other game is the Cowboys taking on the Warriors. Warriors have been disappointing, very disappointing so far this year. Thought they'd be doing a lot better than what they are. Cowboys, I thought they were going to be enough to beat the Broncos last weekend, but up there at Smile, I think that just the Cowboys are going to be too strong. Jonathan Thurston, a one-man show at the moment, with a little bit of help from Gavin Cooper. I think they're just going to be too strong up there. So my tip is the Cowboys to beat the Warriors. Sunday's games, the old grudge match, the Manly Seagulls versus the mighty Parramatta Eels. This one's over at Brookie. Who knows? Who knows what Parramatta's going to have this weekend? Disappointing last week, obviously, against the Roosters, got absolutely thumped. But I think Brad Arthur will have done a job on them. You'll see an improved Eels side, I believe. But I don't know if they're going to be good enough to beat the Manly Seagulls there at Brookie. So it hurts me to say it, but I've got to go with the Seagulls over there at Brookvale. Just played great footy against the Rabbits last weekend. Another tough game. Jamie Lyons stepped up. I'm still waiting to see Cherry Evans and Foran really take control, but I think Manly is going to be too strong for the Eels there on Sunday. The other Sunday game is the Titans taking on the Raiders. Interesting game. Raiders in some form, so I'm pretty much just going to go for the Raiders. Young, exciting side. Campese's doing a great job there. Young Milford at the back, so I'm going to go the Raiders in that one. Monday's game, the last game of the round, Melbourne Storm taking on the Newcastle Knights down there at Amy Park down in Melbourne. Everyone's talking about the Knights. This is where they're going to bounce back. Willie Mason's called for, we'll change our season around. I don't think it's going to happen. Knights are struggling for me at the moment. And Melbourne's still waiting to hit their form as well. So Melbourne down there, home game, too many key players. Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk, Cameron Smith, you can name them all. They're just going to be way too strong for the Knights down there. So my tip is the Melbourne Storm down there for the last game of the round. They're my tips, brought to you by Round 8, by the fans, for the fans, and I'll see you next week.